Hey everyone, have you ever wondered why a global tech and engineering powerhouse like Japan, a country that builds bullet trains, advanced robotics, and cars driven all over the world, would decide to buy its wheeled armored vehicles from Finland instead of building them at home? This isn't just a standard arms deal. It is a massive turning point that is shaking up Japan's domestic defense industry. Today, we're diving deep into the story behind this historic agreement. How did the Patria AMV XP completely outclass Japan's own homegrown giant, Mitsubishi Heavy Industries? And how will this Nordic beast transform the Japan Ground Self-Defense Force, or JGSDF, to face the threats of tomorrow? Strap in and let's find out. Before we meet this new monster, we need to rewind and look at the context and the exact problems the JGSDF is facing. For decades, Japan has relied on the Type 96 wheeled armored personnel carrier as the primary workhorse of its military. But that vehicle was designed in an era when threats weren't nearly as complex as they are today. Fast forward to the present, the world has changed and military technology has evolved at breakneck speed. The Type 96 was starting to show glaring weaknesses, particularly when it comes to armor protection and survivability on a modern battlefield littered with landmines and improvised explosive devices, or IEDs, the nightmare of every modern military. For Japan to stick with outdated armor tech amidst the boiling geopolitical tensions in the Asia-Pacific region, whether it's the expanding influence of neighboring superpowers or the unpredictability on the Korean peninsula, was a risk the Japanese Ministry of Defense simply could no longer accept. When the need for cutting-edge, life-saving hardware reached a critical point, the project to procure a new 8x8 wheeled armored vehicle to replace the Type 96 was born, and this turned into one of the fiercest competitions we've seen. Naturally, everyone expected Japan to go with a domestic option, like the Mitsubishi Armored Vehicle, or MAV, developed by Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, the corporate titan that has held a monopoly on Japanese military manufacturing for ages. Many thought this race was practically rigged from the start because supporting the domestic defense base is something Japan has always prioritized. However, the challenger from across the globe, the Finnish-made Patria AMV XP, didn't just show up to be an extra in a movie. They brought vastly superior technology and real-world combat statistics to the table. And when the Japanese military put both vehicles through a brutal, rigorous testing phase, the results shocked the media and completely flipped the script. The thing that forced the Japanese Ministry of Defense to swallow its pride and turn its back on Mitsubishi was the sheer performance of the Patriot AMV XP, which proved it is arguably the best 8x8 armored vehicle on the planet right now. The first major selling point that slammed into the evaluation committee was its protection and survivability. Patriot designed this vehicle around a core philosophy: the troops inside must make it home alive. The chassis is engineered to accommodate a wide variety of modular armor configurations, and it offers incredible resistance against underbelly mine blasts, something the older Japanese vehicles simply couldn't handle. On top of that, the internal architecture is ergonomically designed to reduce crew injuries from violent impacts. This is the kind of meticulous attention to detail that comes from actual combat experience, not just theory on paper. Now, a lot of you might be asking the ultimate modern warfare question: can it defend against kamikaze drones or the FPV drones that are swarming today's battlefields? I'll give it to you straight. If any bare metal armored vehicle takes a direct hit to a weak spot on the roof, it's going to hurt. But the true genius and selling point of the Patria AMV XP is its open architecture. Recently, this platform has been integrated with top-tier active protection systems, or APS, like the Trophy system. This acts as an invisible shield, automatically detecting and intercepting drones, anti-tank missiles, and RPGs before they even scratch the paint. Furthermore, the vehicle has massive surplus electrical power, making it incredibly easy to install electronic warfare suites or CUAS jammers to sever drone signals. This is exactly where Japan's forward-thinking strategy comes into play. They are prepping to plug their own advanced domestic sensors and anti-drone tech straight into this Finnish vehicle, upgrading it into a flawless moving fortress. Beyond the comprehensive armor and defense systems, mobility was another massive factor that handed Patria the win. Despite its heavy weight and thick armor, it is unbelievably agile. Powered by a high-performance inline-six diesel engine cranking out massive horsepower and over 2,200 newton-meters of torque, combined with a brilliantly tuned independent double wishbone suspension, it can tear through virtually any terrain. Whether it's steep mountains, dense forests, or crossing water obstacles, it gets the job done. This perfectly aligns with Japan's new strategic focus on defending its southern island chains, which demands rapid mobility across incredibly tough environments. Crucially, the Patria's drivetrain is combat-proven to be highly reliable and easy to maintain, which is going to save the military an absolute fortune in long-term maintenance costs. The ultimate deal closer was its versatility and flexible customization. The Patria AMV XP isn't just a troop carrier, it's a fully modular platform. You can swap out modules and configure it for whatever the mission dictates, whether that's a field ambulance, a mortar carrier, an air defense platform, or even mounting heavy artillery. This open architecture means Japan can freely upgrade tech or integrate its own domestically produced weapons and sensors in the future without having to tear down and rebuild the entire fleet. This gave Patria a massive edge over the competition because it represents a highly cost-effective investment that is future-proofed for decades of potential warfare. To give you a clearer picture of exactly where the Patria AMV XP stands on the global stage, I've put together a deep dive specification table. I'm pulling data directly from the manufacturer and putting it head-to-head against one of Europe's absolute top-tier competitors, the Artec Boxer from Germany and the Netherlands, which is widely considered one of the most powerful and expensive wheeled armored vehicles on the market today. Let's take a look at why Japan felt this was the perfect balance. Check out the screen right here. Looking at this table, if we really dig into the numbers, you'll see that the main reason the Patria fits the JGSDF so perfectly isn't because it boasts the highest horsepower or the heaviest weight. It's all about balance and tactical flexibility. You can see that while the Boxer might pack a more powerful V8 engine, it also brings a crushing weight of 36 to nearly 40 tons, and it's almost 3 meters wide. That kind of bulk is a massive operational limitation given Japan's geography, an archipelago filled with narrow roads, tight spaces, and strict bridge weight limits. Meanwhile, the Patria AMV XP caps its max combat weight at 32 tons, but somehow still offers a massive 15-ton payload capacity for troops and weapons, which is actually higher than the Boxer. And the real game changer here is that the Patria can be fitted with an amphibious kit, allowing it to swim at speeds up to 10 kilometers per hour. The Boxer simply cannot do that. That single capability fulfills the Japanese military's island defense strategy with 100% success rate. And when we drill down into the actual procurement budget approved by the Japanese Ministry of Defense, the value for money becomes crystal clear. Japan is using a phased annual budget allocation model. In the first phase, stretching from fiscal year 2023 to 2025, Japan already approved the purchase of 82 vehicles, totaling roughly 56.1 billion yen, and in the latest 2026 budget plan, they've requested an additional 23 units. Their ultimate goal is to replace the entire fleet of nearly 400 aging Type 96s. When you compare the estimated price tag around $5.5 million per Patria against the Boxer, which can shoot up to $7.5 million apiece, saving millions of dollars per vehicle while getting performance that easily matches the competition and adds amphibious capability is a remarkably smart strategic decision. It's worth every single penny. But the fascinating part of this deal doesn't just end with signing a purchase order. The sheer brilliance of the Japanese government here is that they didn't just hand over a check for fully built imports and call it a day. The real highlight of this agreement is the licensing deal for domestic production. Japan Steelworks, or JSW, one of the country's top-tier heavy industry giants, will be taking over the manufacturing of components, final assembly, and long-term maintenance of these vehicles. This is a brilliant long game that shows incredible vision. Not only does Japan get a world-class armored vehicle, but they also get direct engineering tech transfers from Europe to further develop their own defense industry. Plus, it keeps a massive chunk of that capital and job creation circulating right at home, rather than bleeding 100% of those funds overseas. With the first Patria AMV XPs officially arriving in the hands of the JGSDF, it rings a massive alarm bell for the entire region. The Japanese military is undergoing a monumental transformation. stepping away from the traditional mindset of relying exclusively on domestic hardware and having the courage to select the absolute best off-the-shelf equipment from the global market to integrate with their own manufacturing capabilities, that is a clear signal. It tells the world that Japan is dead serious about upgrading its military readiness, and they are fully prepared to handle whatever unforeseen scenarios arise in the near future. Ultimately, this shift isn't just about buying new trucks. It is proof that in a world filled with intense competition and conflict, adaptation is the only way to survive. Even a nation so fiercely proud of its own technology like Japan has to acknowledge the strengths of others and apply them for its own national security. So what do you guys think about all this? Do you think Japan made the right call by choosing a Finnish armored vehicle? Or do you think this might actually hurt the development of their domestic weapons industry in the long run? Drop your thoughts and analysis in the comments down below. I'm Mick, and as always, I can't wait to read what you guys have to say. If you enjoyed this kind of deep dive tech analysis and unique look at strategic military movements, don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss an update straight to your screen. That's all for today. I'll catch you guys in the next one.